The TikTok Reality Check, a working system for TikTok campaigns.
Welcome everyone to our panel on digital integrity and product reliability in fast gaming platform. My name is Giusy Campo and I work for GroupTech, which is an aggregator platform. And as we explore this fast-changing world of the entertainment industry, it's important to know how platform can stay stable, keep data clean, and perform well while growing quickly. Today we have three great speakers who will share their thoughts about different parts of this topic. So maybe you want to intro yourself one by one.
Hello everyone, my name is Vlad Bondarenko. I'm head of product at ReferOn. ReferOn is affiliate tracking solution for entertainment, for affiliates, for operators. So yes, we are providing like tracking capabilities for everyone, and I have something to say.
Next one.
Hello. My name is Ivan Korkin. I'm head of account management in Kanggiten. We are a platform with more than 10 years of experience in B2B area that we are now transitioning to the B2C to B2B vertical.
Hello everyone, I'm Nikolay Lobov. I manage a studio. Remember, we are in Dubai. And yes, I'm happy to talk about this very exciting topic with you today.
Good start. Vlad, today we start with you. First question. If we talk about architecture decisions, how do the choices made in platform architecture affect data integrity and long-term growth? And what problems can arise from rushing these decisions?
So very good question. To be honest, from my experience, from the product perspective, of course, everyone is seeing the architecture at the scaling problem. But it's not always the case because like not every single time spikes in traffic are making any problems. We need to understand that when we were building ReferOn, we started to understand and to define the main pillars. And these are, for example, media, tracking, reporting, rewarding capabilities with commission structures, etc. So not just to have a list of features or a list of backlog, task in a backlog, but generally speaking as a defined list of pillars of main domains. From where we will start basically and where such systems, such tools as ours should stand on. So we started from defining those primary domains. This where trust is coming and trust is building. Because of course the main problem is when affiliates, finance team, marketing team cannot understand what is going on in the system when different reports are showing different numbers, are showing different structures, etc., etc. So the main thing that system should provide is not only the scalable infrastructure, but also the trust in numbers, trust in everything that is connected to performance. That's the main point. That's why we tried to develop our system as a microservice architecture, and so which will allow us to be as flexible as possible. And of course, for example, if we have such modules, such domains as rewarding, for example, media tracking, etc., and we are so flexible in terms of adding new features, adding new functionality to this module. Of course, when we are not speaking to rewriting the whole module itself. So this is what I'm telling and calling as a real approach in terms of developing the standalone product.
This was very good insight. Thank you for that. Ivan, if we talk about importance of reliability and integrity, why are platform reliability and data integrity so important for business, and how do they affect revenue and user trust?
Okay, so we can basically maybe break down it into these 2 points, right? So reliability, it's on the forefront. If the platform works, everything is good. If it doesn't or it breaks, then you lose money. So from business perspective, it's obvious. But with data integrity, it's a bit more trickier, because if you think about it from the perspective of maybe a smaller scale product, right? The integrity may not kind of play this crucial role. But when you scale up, when you have a complex solution with a lot of data points and a lot of data being gathered and assembling, then when you scaled up, every minor thing start matter more and more, because if you have, I don't know, duplicated data, some parts of the reports missing, right, or data and analytics being supplied lately or with the latency, this can impact the decision making when you data is king basically, and you build your foundation, operational foundation, budgeting, forecasting, marketing budgets, promotional activities. Everything is based on data, and if you cannot rely on data, you lose trust and money, of course.
Thank you very much. Nick, if we talk about providing fairness, how can game providers show that their games are fair, and what methods help ensure the fairness?
Great question, and probably the easiest one to answer. And everyone is aware how our, so to say, industry and ecosystem works. So we are in the very basement, I would say, of the ecosystem, because we provide products, and we provide the thing which is based on such a special quality of nature as a probability. And this is how everything is built on, and then it goes through the different stages and layers of our system, and finally ends with our customers. I try to filter my words and language just to avoid our normal terms. And and when we talk about that, so of course the heart of our system is RNG, and RNG is probably fair when you do not interfere with the laws of life. So, because it's based on what is generated
On the random.
By nature, yes. And this is a very important question by itself, because I sometimes got like inquiries, how can you change if you want to adjust your games, when if you want to track performance of something, and maybe you can adjust it, yes?
Yes.
But the essential part of it is that you do not do it. And this is why our industry exists, and this is absolutely the basic thing what we do not do. And that's how you, then later, as you asked, how you track it. There are multiple ways to track it, to observe some not normal things. And that's also controlled in the different stages. And that we can talk later, because this is based on our knowledge, based on our experience, based on the technology we manage, and not only by us, but all our partners, because they also have the results and the influence of this process.
Yes, thank you very much. And Vlad, if we talk about collaboration between teams, how can product and engineering teams work together to expand the features and handle more users without losing reliability and trust?
It's like, it's always a battle between product team, engineering, and developers. Product team, me personally, of course, I will be, every single time when I log into the system, I'm always finding some things that I'm not, like, I would like to tackle them, I would like to change them, I would like to add more functionalities, etc., etc. So this is kind of always a battle between myself, my vision, my direction, that I would love to have everything yesterday. And on another note, there is a team Angels, yes, I'm calling them like this because they want the stable systems. Me too, of course. But they always should be on top of it. They should be on top of the security. They should be on top of everything that is connected to scalable systems, scalability and all this stuff. But generally speaking, we found out the best way further and the best kind of cooperation flows between all these teams. So basically, my task is to define the rules, to define what shouldn't be changeable, to define what is immutable, yes? So this kind of stuff, that numbers shouldn't change, yes, that we have like a month's closure in the system, kind of, yes, so that we are sure that everything is kind of final. And this helps a lot in terms of working together and to defining not only the feature list, not only the what's gonna happen soon, but also to make a big attention on security, on tech debt, which is can be a really huge part of that, yes? And not always a product department, product team can properly estimate it and make priorities out of it. So this is always kind of battle between product team and developers team, and I know that not all the developers are a fan and they love product department, but generally speaking, we are in a very good, we found that combination. That's truly the most important part of it, to be honest.
Yes, I totally agree on that. Nick, about scaling strategies, what strategies can platforms use to grow without experiencing major failures? And how do things like modular design and automation help?
That's a question for me?
Sorry, that's for Ivan.
Yeah, because I was
Sorry.
hearing some familiar words there. Yeah, so okay.
That's most for you.
No, thank you.
I'm happy to answer, by the way.
Well, you can definitely join the
Yeah,
answer.
you can back me up after, right? Okay,
Thanks.
so when we talk about the platform architecture, right, and overall architecture of technical solutions, so the, let's say, basic thing that would any maybe smaller scale product or startup would go for general would be a monolithic structure, right? When you have everything in one place, using the same ecosystem, same servers, same technical stack. However, this let's say brings the risk factor a bit higher when you have a complex product. And here, well, in Kanggiten, we use the modular architecture. This means effectively when we basically split our internal parts of the platform, so backend, front end, analytics, CRM systems, all that kinds of stuff that makes a platform into separate independent modules that work in conjunction, but still are an independent entities by themselves. And in this case, we are first free to, let's say, experiment, adjust, and scale without the risk of everything breaking. If there is something wrong with one single module, the rest of the modular architect stays, let's say, the same and still isn't at the risk. Right, and then when we talk about automation, then of course in the modern age, right, you still need to have the, let's say, human eye on things. So and we do have a 24/7 team that keeps an eye on things. But when you have the ability to automate, you need to automate. And I mean, if we talk about, I don't know, sudden traffic spikes, right, big marketing campaign or an influx of users, so you need to be able to quickly scale up, and then when spikes comes down, that you also need to adjust, scale down, so not to keep excessive amounts of computational power in reserve, right? And then with automation, you can achieve that, and you should use it.
You want to add any comments?
That's tremendous answer. I don't think that I can add anything.
Okay, so then I will ask you a question, Nick. Following standards, How does following ISO 27001 standards help game providers stay secure and ready for audits? And why is having documented proof important?
Everyone thinks that certification ISO is boring. Yes.
It's true.
I try just to give my insight because I came from certification. I was a manager of laboratory, and so I changed sides from certified to the person to be certified, and just my insights. And I'm not going into details because, of course, no one interested in it. But the thing is that it's not important that the document itself. So it's possible to, I don't know, bypass some processes without implementing, or even like work for years even without using principles. But what is important about ISO? ISO has a mentality. And if you implement ISO mentality in your company, that's one of the way to succeed. And what does it mean, ISO mentality? Just explain in few words. Everyone has a risk and consequence. And ISO mentality is to predict risks, document them, and to avoid them. And if something happens, you need to build a plan how to improve and how to avoid it in future. And this is very important. And of course, 27 is about security, about the processes, and about the guarantee you provide to your partners. Why you need it? Just because everyone around knows that you follow the processes. That's nothing built, let's say, on your knees, but really by professional for professionals. And my personal experience, because I came from that, I built everything in our company following the processes of ISO. And that's why I can tell you guys, if you work with us, you are more or less on a safe side.
That's very interesting, and I agree on that. Also, my background is on compliance regulations, and unfortunately, there are all the requirements different per country, so you have to follow some rules, following standards, and you have to go through the certification process, want it or not, for certain markets.
Yes.
So having an ISO mentality is actually a very good
for sure,
way.
but when you have it's built in your core, it's way easier. So, and when I was on the certifier side, I observed many companies who build a different way, and for them were near impossible to change. And it's better to build from scratch than to change if it's not built
Totally
to the
agree.
rules. Yes.
You can sleep well.
Absolutely. And regarding standards, yes, it's crazy. That's another topic. It's definitely beyond our discussion because I can talk hours about different regulations and how they were implemented. But yes, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Vlad, if we talk about invisible failures, why do platforms often face hidden data issues instead of obvious outages? And how do event-based systems and validation help keep data accurate?
I have spoken a lot about the trust, and the trust in this industry is quite a important topic and high topic. And I would say I'm calling this a silent death of reputation. What does it mean? It's basically when system is working fine. Yes, I'm always when I'm speaking with people who are running and who are using like old and legacy platforms, they're always telling me, we get used to it. Everything is working. Like we are using one report in which we trust. Yes, one report in which we trust. And from that point, it's quite tricky because when you get used to the system, but different part of the system works differently, yes, and works kind of, you can just trust one of part of the system. If the payment report is showing you one numbers, the general report is showing different numbers, like brands, or I don't know, like product reports showing another numbers, it's a problem generally. So we try to implement, or especially the topic of ad serving and everything that is connected to tracking, yes. It's a huge topic, and it's a huge part where the system could develop itself as much as possible. We implemented also for ad serving and our affiliate database, like our commission database, yes, different kind of dual engine, I would say, yes, I would call it, kind of for commission structure, everything that should be kind of unchangeable, yes, and we should have access to it as quick as possible. Yes, we are using like MySQL, for example, database for ad serving events, for clicks, whereas high load is important, speed is important. We are using ClickHouse and all this stuff. For the system, especially as I understood my colleagues from different angles of the industry, yeah, they're using also more or less the same approaches as we are using, and I'm happy to hear that people from other angles of the industry using microservice infrastructure, modular architecture, and all this stuff. This helps to make system as unchangeable as possible, as scalable as possible, and all this stuff, of course, helps us to understand that we are moving in the right direction. That's my thoughts on that.
Thank you very much. I think we have time for last question for Ivan. Ivan, if we have to talk about maintaining analytics, as platforms grow quickly, how can they keep their data accurate and useful? And how does good data quality impact decisions in product development and marketing?
Okay, yeah, well, like I said before, the data is king. So, yeah, first you need to have the reliable source of data, and then you need to securely and safely store it. It's one thing, so to avoid any discrepancies, duplicates, and whatnot. So when you establish trust, but this is not the end of it, right? After you have this gigabytes of data and millions of rows and rows of raw data, you need to somehow to work with it to make it manageable for the individual departments, be it external teams or maybe external for the client. So that's where you need to make it readable and understandable. And then there's analytical part and also reporting part comes in. So you need to make it UX friendly, so with a good user experience, and also not to clog up the attention. So if you have, you know, as a platform, you hoard just huge amount of data, but maybe your marketing department doesn't need everything, so you need to segment and to provide the relevant information to the relevant teams, and also make sure that you have this flexibility in terms of approach. So when dealing with the large chunks of data, okay, like monthly review, quarterly, yearly, it's one thing, but then real-life analytics, so real-life data, you also need to be let's say, flexible enough to provide it and to make sure that the real data, real-life data, is also accurate and to the point for the necessary parties to use and to benefit from.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Maybe there is someone from the crowd that want to ask some questions to the speakers? Anyone at all? So maybe we can ask you the last question, Nick. I think we have the last one, no? Yes.
I just can add maybe to the last one.
Yeah.
So because analytics data, so it's growing like a snowball for everyone. And hot thing, of course, we are using more and more artificial intelligence. So as for us, because we need to understand the trends and the ideas, we need to adjust many things in our how it's called, not, as I do not say game, I don't know, but okay. We implement models, and now it's getting better and better. So what we did before with external outsourced analytics and maybe some tools. Now we do more and more in-house. And the quality of data is really getting better, so it's actionable. So that's for the last point from my side.
Thank you very much, Nick. And thank you to our speakers for sharing their valuable insight. So there is no one who wants to ask any questions at all? No one, okay. So then thank you very much for joining us. And thank you to our speakers.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.